fine. Is this thing on? Are we back online? Yes, we are. Heracross, the single-horned Pokemon. Heracross loves sweet sap and will go looking through forests for it. The Pokemon uses its 2 antennae to pick up scents as it searches. But let's hope it doesn't pick up some particular scents that come up in, like, bedrooms. I think the Heracross will be leaving like, whoa. Shellos, the sea slug Pokemon. Subjecting this Pokemon to a strong force causes it to secrete a strange purple fluid. Though harmless, the fluid is awfully sticky. So is that the fluid that they release when they... You know. I think you know. Kyogre, the sea basin Pokemon. It is said to have widened the seas by causing downpours. It had been asleep in a marine trench. And sometimes it'll dream about being in the wild, wild west, and it'll come out going, yee-haw! When it wakes up. Goomy, the soft tissue Pokemon. Most of a Goomy's body is water. A membrane covers the whole Pokemon to prevent it from shriveling up in dry weather. And this thing is so cute. No matter how many times you hug it, it's always going to leave you all gooey. But you know what? The hugs of this little fella are always worth it. Gooey. Meowth, the scratch cat Pokemon. Appears to be more active at night. It loves round and shiny things. It can't stop itself from picking them up. And like most night owls, Meowth will rather stay asleep in the daylight times. Much like certain streamers around here. Spinarak, the string spit Pokemon. With threads from its mouth, it fashions sturdy webs that it won't break, even if you set a rock on them. All I can say about this one, Spooter! Smeargle, the painter Pokemon. This Pokemon secretes multicolored bodily fluids from the tip of its tail that uses its paint. It hopes to paint the landscape of its birthplace someday. You see, I could make a joke there about multicolored bodily fluids, but if any of you have multicolored bodily fluids, you may want to go see a doctor. Makuhita, the guts Pokemon. It toughens up by slamming into thick trees over and over. It gains a sturdy body and dauntless spirit. I speak for the trees, and the trees say, "Stop hitting us, Makuhita!" Zubat, the bat Pokemon. It has no eyes. Instead, it relies on its ultrasonic cries for echolocation to flit about in darkness. And flying around in darkness, it do be good.
Or as we say, it doesn't take long to find if you're in Mount Moon, Rock Tunnel, Victory Road, etc.
Etc. Piplup, the penguin Pokemon. A poor walker, it often falls down. However, its strong pride makes it puff up its chest without a care. It don't care it can't walk. Well, it doing what it can, and all that's swell. Minccino, the chinchilla Pokemon. These Pokemon like things neat and tidy. They are always sweeping and dusting their habitat, using their tails as brooms. You know, if Snow White were a Pokemon trainer, she'd probably have a lot of Mincinos. Help clean up the dwarf's shack while they whistle and work. Torchic, the chick Pokemon. In its belly, it has a sack filled with burning fire, meaning that Torchic feels as warm as a hot water ball if you hug it. So basically, if you pull a muscle, you don't have to get a hot water ball to soothe the muscles. Just put Torchic on there. Easy as pie. Tyrogue, the Scuffle Pokemon. Its intense desire to become stronger and stronger drives it to recklessly train its body and challenge any opponent it can find to battle. Remember, trainers, training is good, but don't overtrain yourself. Unless you're a Tyrogue, then you don't have to worry about that. Trubbish, the trash bag Pokemon. Its favorite places are unsanitary ones. If you leave trash lying around, you could even find one of those Pokemon living in your room. You tell that to the nincompoop style that keeps on throwing litter outside this trainer's house. No, I don't want any trubbish at my house. Gloom, the weed Pokemon. The nectar it drools from its mouth smells so atrocious that it can make noses curl from more than a mile away. Yay, we're gonna put you on the farthest island out there, Gloom. Smelly, smelly, smelly. Sableye, the darkness Pokemon. It dwells in the darkness of caves. It uses its sharp claws to dig up gems to nourish itself. Making jewelry out of those gems? No! Eating it for food? Yes! Cubone, the lonely Pokemon. Wears the skull of its deceased mother. Its cries echo inside the skull and comes out as a sad melody. It misses its mom so much, it won't leave the tombstone. Letting go is hard, my friend, but you gotta do it at some point. Girder, the muscular Pokemon. They strengthen their bodies by carrying steel beams. They show off their big muscles to their friends. And maybe you'll even have their friends touch their biceps. Touch my bicep, yeah! Palmy, the mouse Pokemon. It has underdeveloped electric sacs on its cheeks. These sacs can produce electricity only if Palmy rubs them furiously with the pads on its forepaws. You know, it's too bad those sacs are on its cheeks. I would have loved to see butt cheek sacs. Make electricity from your butt. Although, then again, that would probably turn farts a bit deadly. Zora, the tricky fox Pokemon. Zora is a timid Pokemon. This disposition seems to be what led to the development of Zora's ability to take on the forms of other creatures. So what you're saying is this fox is a very good trickster. Better watch out for this fox on April Fool's Day. Mareep, the wool Pokemon. If static electricity builds in its body, its fleece doubles in volume. Touching it will shock you. You're definitely going to want to resist the urge to touch that floof. This floof will shock you and probably cause your hair to go poof. Touch the floof, hair go poof. Growlithe, the puppy Pokemon. It has a brave and trustworthy nature. It fearlessly stands up to bigger and stronger foes, especially if they try to take his home. Growlithe will never give up until his home is saved. Bark, bark. Ivysaur, the seed Pokemon. The bulb on its back grows as it absorbs nutrients. The bulb gives off a pleasant aroma when it blooms. And the aroma is so pleasant. Unless you have allergies, then you may want to steer clear from that bulb. Lapras, the transport Pokemon. A smart and kind-hearted Pokemon. It glides across the surface of the sea while its beautiful song echoes around it. And maybe if you're lucky, it'll communicate to you via telepathy, like in a certain Christmas episode. Merry Christmas. Pikachu, the mouse Pokemon. When its friends were sick, this Pokemon repeatedly shared its own electricity with them. As a result, its physical structure changed, and it became unable to generate electricity. And this is why Pikachu needs to keep up with electricity. Otherwise, it's not going to be feeling too good. Poor Pika. Raikou, the thunder Pokemon. The rain clouds it carries let it fire thunderbolts at will. They say it descended with lightning. And if it sees you, zap. My leg. Snorlax, the sleeping Pokemon. This Pokemon tried to sleep off its bad mood after it lost a fight, but it slept so long that dirt piled up around it, leaving it buried. During its long slumber, it forgot all about the Pokemon it lost to. But now begs the question, how much scrubbing and scrubbing and scrubbing is it going to take to get all that moss off? Azurill, the polka dot Pokemon. Its tail is packed full of nutrients it needs to grow. And I'm still curious how it can move around like that considering it's as big as its body. But you know what? You do you, Azurill. Fluffy, the wool Pokemon. As a result of storing too much electricity, it developed patches where even downy wool won't grow. Half smooth, half floofy. Just the right balance. Just make sure you don't get zapped, though. Oh, too late. Hariyama, the Arthas Pokemon. It loves challenging others to test some strength. It has the power to stop a train with a slap. Inspector, can you see fish? No, but I can see Pokemon. Eevee, the evolution Pokemon. Its ability to evolve into many forms allows it to adapt smoothly and perfectly to any environment. Well, at least it'll make it easy for Eevee to get a house then, if it easily adapts to anything. Geodude, the rock Pokemon. At rest, it looks just like a rock. Carelessly stepping on it will make it swing its fist angrily. It's not just a boulder, it's a rock! But please don't kick it around! Squavet, the cheeky Pokemon. No matter how much it stuffs its belly with food, it is always anxious about getting hungry again. So, it stashes berries in its cheeks and tail. Although then again, with all the saliva, it would eventually break down the berries in its cheeks, so, it becomes just, mush. Not as good if you ask me. Scorbunny, the rabbit Pokemon. Once its body has heated up, Scorbunny can use the full extent of its power. That's why it does warm-up exercises. And then it'll eventually cool down by numbing on a carrot and going, meh. What's up, Doc? Machoke, the superpower Pokemon. It willingly assists with hard labor because it knows the work is good training for its muscles. You touch the muscles, touch the biceps, get to the chopper. Diglett, the mole Pokemon. It prefers dark places. It spends most of its time underground, though it may pop up in caves. And even 3 decades later, I still wonder, what the hell does the rest of its body look like? Do you have feet? Are you the top of a monster? What are you? What's underneath there? Dartrix, the blade quill Pokemon. This narcissistic Pokemon is a clean freak. If you don't groom it diligently, it may stop listening to you. Grime? Filth? This will simply not do. I desire cleanliness, says the bird. Cricket-Talk, the cricket Pokemon. Its legs are short. Whenever it stumbles, its stiff antenna clack with a xylophone-like sound. So if you're hearing any xylophones in the distance, be careful. It might actually be some Cricket-Tot instead. Tot-tot! Clefairy, the fairy Pokemon. It is said that happiness will come to those who see a gathering of Clefairy dancing under a full moon. Fairy, fairy, fairy. Torkoal, the coal Pokemon. Coal is the source of Torkoal's energy. Large amounts of coal can be found in the mountains where they live. And even though they're a fire type, they do love letting out steam in the hot springs. No wonder the springs stay hot. Larvitar, the rock skin Pokemon. It feeds on soil. After it has eaten a large mountain, it will fall asleep so it can grow. Breaking news, local mountain disappeared. Larvitar to blame. Board 11. Cricketune, the cricket Pokemon. By allowing its cry to resonate in the hollow of its belly, it produces a captivating sound. And once again to this day, still one of the best Pokemon noises ever. Graydon, the greedy Pokemon. Growing up with a family of foodies, this Pokemon learned to love cooking. It will happily eat pretty much anything, so it tends to season food rather carelessly. Order up, Squidward! Bonsley, the bonsai Pokemon. From its eyes, it can expel excess moisture from its body. This liquid is similar in composition to human sweat. So if it claims to be just sweating while watching a very sad movie, nope, those are actual tears. That is not sweat. Magmar, the Spitfire Pokemon. Found near the mouth of a volcano, this fire breather's body temperature is nearly 2200 degrees Fahrenheit. Ah, it's hot. Riolu, the Emanation Pokemon. It's exceedingly energetic, with enough stamina to keep running all through the night. Taking it for walks can be a challenging experience. Enough stamina to stay up all night, all right? You must be a night owl. Let's go for a night run. Rowlet, the grass squirrel Pokemon. It feels relaxed in tight, dark places and has been known to nestle into its trainer's bag or the front of their jacket. And it's spherical. Spherical! Machop, the superpower Pokemon. It hefts a Graveler repeatedly to strengthen its entire body. It uses every type of martial arts. Get those biceps huge and have the ladies feel the biceps. Touch the biceps. Magbean, the live coal Pokemon. Each and every time it inhales and exhales, sparks leak from its mouth and nostrils. Better not be too close to its mouth then, otherwise you're probably gonna get set ablaze by that spark. Ouch! Cinderace, the striker Pokemon. It juggles a pebble with its feet, turning it into a burning soccer ball. Its shots strike opponents hard and leaves them scorched. And of course, the hotter the weather, the more flaming those balls will be. Watch out for those shots! Rotom, the plasma Pokemon. This Rotom entered a mini stereo system and was deeply moved by the synth pop CD someone left inside. The experience gave this Pokemon an upbeat personality. And with all the electronics that Rotom can go into these days, who knows how many kinds of personalities it can achieve? I think it's maybe living inside my phone right now. Meep! Gimmighoul, the coin chest Pokemon. It lives inside an old treasure chest. Sometimes it gets left in shop corners since no one realizes it's actually a Pokemon. And when people try to buy this in like antique stores or auctions or whatnot, they take it home and then, surprise, it's actually a Pokemon. It's not a treasure chest, it's a mon. Lotad, the waterweed Pokemon. The leaf on its head is naturally dirt repellent and will stay clean even after transporting Pokemon that are covered in mud. Well, living around the volcanic ash, at least its leaf head will be clean. Cleffa, the star-shaped Pokemon. Since it is often seen when shooting stars fill the night skies, it is said to come here by riding on a star. Perhaps they borrowed a Kirby's Warp Star to get to where we are now. Thanks, boyo. Ludicolo, the carefree Pokemon. If it hears festive music, all its muscles fill with energy. It can't help break it out into a dance. Look out, dance floor. He's gonna be hogging the dance floor. But then knowing Ludicolo, he'll probably want everybody in the dance floor. Everybody join the Ludi! Carkol, the coal Pokemon. Due to the coal tar created inside it, the heap of coal on Carkol's back never falls apart, even when the Pokemon rolls around at high speeds. Well, do trains need infinity fuel from coal? Just put a lot of Carkol in it. Perfect. Cacturn, the scarecrow Pokemon. It becomes active at night, seeking prey that is exhausted from the day's desert heat. So maybe it's not a good idea to camp out in the desert at night. Cacturn's gonna get you! Volcanion, the steam Pokemon. It lets out billows of steam and disappears into the dense fog. It's said to live in mountains where humans do not tread. And they also may not be a fan of, loud music, but they'll definitely stop by for curry in the future. Not now, but probably in the future. Rookie D, the tiny bird Pokemon. This Pokemon is brave and reckless. The white markings around a Rookie D's eyes intimidate faint-hearted Mons. It may look small, but it can pack a peck. Never underestimate the little guys. Vulpix, the fox Pokemon. From its mouth spewed flames that seem to resemble the spirit of the deceased. Some people mistakenly think that fire is a ghost. Ah! Ghost! Sprigatito, the grass cat Pokemon. Its fluffy fur is similar in composition to plants. This Pokemon frequently washes its face to keep it from drying out. And on the side, it'll help make weed. Weed kitty! Duskull, the Requiem Pokemon. In the dead of night, these Pokemon wander through towns in search of children, whose vital energy is a Duskull's favorite food. Stranger danger! Stranger danger! Stranger danger! Dreepy, the lingering Pokemon. In the evening, groups of Dreepy will fly at high speeds over the ocean and poke at Pokemon in the water for fun. They go and boop, 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 beep, boop, boop all over! Trapinch, the ant pit Pokemon. This Pokemon lives in arid deserts. It patiently awaits prey inside its funnel-shaped nest. And when that prey arrives, ow! Chomp! Chomp, chomp, chomp! Yummy! Froakie, the bubble frog Pokemon. It protects its skin by covering its body in delicate bubbles. Beneath its happy-go-lucky air, it keeps a watchful eye on its surroundings. If anyone dares to speak up on it, you're gonna get some bubbles to the face, preparing for its ninja phase. Dratini, the dragon Pokemon. It is called the Mirage Pokemon because so few have seen it. But it's shed its skin a lot, and it has been found. A piece of skin on the ground. It must be from a Dratini. Well, let's hope it's in a shade of purple and not like human flesh colored. Ugh. Dragonite, the dragon Pokemon. It can fly in spite of its big and bulky physique. It circles the globe in just 16 hours. After all that flying, no wonder he's so tired all the time. Ian E.P. Durgan. Tinkaton, the hammer Pokemon. A Tinkaton that is particularly skilled with its hands, allowing it to make good use of other tools in addition to its hammer. It is very curious about buildings and machines made by humans. Well, if you need somebody to build you a tower, call Tinkaton. Although, on the other hand, make sure it doesn't handle machines inside said building. Otherwise, they'll probably explode. Swablu, the cotton bird Pokemon. It can't relax if it or its surroundings are not clean. It wipes off dirt with its wings. So Swablu is essentially the Pokemon version of Mr. Clean. And you will not stop until everything is clean. Mischievous, the Screech Pokemon. It likes playing mischievous tricks, such as screaming and wailing to startle people at night. With those descriptions there, she'd fit quite well in Halloween Town. Ooh. Zoroark, the Illusion Fox Pokemon. This Pokemon cares deeply about others of its kind, and it will conjure terrifying illusions to keep its den and packs safe. Next time you run into your favorite Pokemon or somebody you know and love, make sure it's not a Zoroark in disguise, otherwise things are going to get very interesting, quote-unquote. Vibrava, the vibration Pokemon. Rather than using its underdeveloped wings for flight, it rubs them together, emitting ultrasonic waves to attack its enemies. And when it's not attacking enemies, maybe it'll make noises like those cicadas do during the summer. Conkeldurr, the muscular Pokemon. It is thought that Conkeldurr taught humans how to make concrete more than 2,000 years ago. Stones? Nope. Concrete? Absolutely. Wooper, the poison fish Pokemon. After losing a territorial struggle, Wooper began living on land. The Pokemon changed over time, developing a poisonous film to protect its body. Well, even if its body is more poisonous, it's still very adorable. Woopa! Voltorb, the ball Pokemon. It is said to camouflage itself as a Pokeball. It will self-destruct with very little stimulus. If you see a red and white ball, make sure it's an actual Pokeball and not a Voltorb. Otherwise, the only other way to tell it's really a Voltorb is, seeing it shiny. Poor Voltorb. Gardevoir, the Embrace Pokemon. To protect its trainer, it will expend all its psychic power to create a small black hole. When you do a Google search of this mon, keep the safe search on! Clefable, the fairy Pokemon. Said to live in quiet remote mountains, this type of fairy has a strong aversion to being seen. It doesn't like being seen by humans, but they'll make an exception to a certain Ditto. Ampharos, the light Pokemon. When it gets dark, the light from its bright, shiny tail can be seen from far away on the ocean's surface. Who needs a flashlight when you've got an Ampharos with you? Plus, if anybody tries to sneak up on you in the dark, Amphy could just give him a good old kick to the balls. Good Amphy. Umbreon, the moonlight Pokemon. On the night of a full moon, or when it gets excited, the ring patterns on its body glow yellow. If Umbreon was also a waterbender, I think it would also use the full moon to do blood bending. Maybe it's a good thing it's a dark type and not a water type. Don't tell Vaporeon. Vaporeon, the bubble jet Pokemon. It prefers beautiful shores. With cells similar to water molecules, it could melt in water. And did you know, out of all the Pokemon out there, this one is best suitable for here? You know the rest. Gulpin, the stomach Pokemon. It has a small heart and brain. Its stomach comprises most of its body, with enzymes to dissolve anything. Just make sure you don't eat your own house, Gulpin, otherwise you're going to be homeless forever. Metang, the Iron Claw Pokemon. It is formed by two Beldum joining together. Its two brains are linked, amplifying its psychic power. The more brains, the more power. Wonder what its IQ could go up to, combining those brains. Venonat, the insect Pokemon. Its large eyes act as radar. In a bright place, you can see that they are clusters of many tiny eyes. How many tiny eyes, you say? Thousands, if not millions. Not enough time to count them all. Nor do I want to. Happiny, the Playhouse Pokemon. It carefully carries a round white rock that it thinks is an egg. It's bothered by how curly its hair looks. Don't worry, Happiny. Curly hair is a bitch to take care of. Believe me, I know. I've known since I was little. Audino, the hearing Pokemon. Audino's sense of hearing is superb. Not even a pebble rolling along over a mile away will escape Audino's ears. With having super sensitive hearing, I wonder what their ears must be feeling like during a rock concert. Can't be good if you ask me. Electabuzz, the electric Pokemon. Its body constantly discharges electricity. Getting close to it will make your hair stand on end. No wonder it's hungry all the time, if it loses electricity like that. It needs a big helping of electricity to stay full. Psyduck, the duck Pokemon. It is constantly racked by a headache. When the headache turns intense, it begins using mysterious powers. But until then, it can't really do anything except go, sigh. Mewtwo, the genetic Pokemon. Its DNA is almost the same as Mew's. However, its size and disposition are vastly different. There was also a time it hated humans because it didn't want to be just a creation. It wanted to be free, not trapped in a science lab. Toxel, the baby Pokemon. It has no problem drinking dirty water. An organ inside Toxel's body filters such water into a poisonous liquid that is harmless to Toxel. Hey Toxel, maybe we could get you to filter all the dirty water here in this world. It would make things so much easier. Charjabug, the battery Pokemon. From the food it digests, it generates electricity, and it stores this energy in its electric sac. By looking at its body shape, one may mistake it for a bus, or maybe even an accordion if you squish it back and forth. Paging Weird Al, I got your perfect Pokemon right here. Larvesta, the torch Pokemon. The people of ancient times believed that Larvesta fell from the sun. If it fell from the sun, then that means its internal temperature must be a couple thousand degrees. I don't even want to think about how hot its flames are. Nope! Jolteon, the lightning Pokemon. A sensitive Pokemon that easily becomes sad or angry. Every time its mood changes, it charges power. Let's hope it doesn't see its favorite team lose on TV, otherwise, you may need to buy a new TV. Magneton, the magnet Pokemon. This Pokemon is 3 Magnemite that have linked together. Magneton sends out powerful radio waves to study its surroundings.
Hello, Bluetold.
And surely their primary purpose is just doing things together, working together, doing all those tasks, and not having a threesome. Totally not having a threesome. Miss Magius, the magical Pokemon. Its cries sound like incantations to torment the foe. It appears where you least expect it, and it will put a spell on you. And then probably do a musical number to put a spell on the entire town. Haunter, the gas Pokemon. If you get the feeling of being watched in darkness when nobody is around, Haunter is there. I always feel like somebody's watching me. It's a Haunter. Fuck. Glaceon, the fresh snow Pokemon. It can control its body temperature at will. This enables it to freeze the moisture in the atmosphere, creating flurries of diamond dust. When the summer comes around, maybe it'll also use its ice powers to make snow cones. Hey, run a snow cone business, you'll be making lots of moolah. But make sure Glaceon doesn't melt, too. Magnemite, the magnet Pokemon. The electromagnetic waves emitted by the units at the sides of its head expel anti-gravity, which allows it to float. Basically defying gravity. Defying gravity! It'd be great in a certain musical. Grimer, the sludge Pokemon. Born from sludge, these Pokemon now gather in polluted places and increase the bacteria in their bodies. One touch of that sludge, and you'll get a lethal dose of bacteria. No touchies! Axew, the tusk Pokemon. These Pokemon nest in the ground and use their tusks to crush hard berries. Crushing berries is also how they test each other's strength. Crush 'em? I hardly know 'em! Porygon, the virtual Pokemon. It is an artificial Pokemon. Since it doesn't breathe, people are excited by its potential to be useful in any environment. Even if it's a virtual one, it has feelings too. Leave the poor guy alone.